Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to Honeybee Live. It's not Sherry, it's another queen standing in for our queen bee, Sherry, who is visiting her yummy grandbabies on the East Coast and asked me to sit in tonight. And so, come on in the room. Let everyone know that Honeybee is live. Honeybee is live, and that we're ready to discover some things about ourselves tonight. We're going to discover our core values. So when you're in the room, let us know that you're there. Uh, as Sherry always says, leave a comment. She would love to know that you joined. And if this helps you, please share it with somebody else. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Yes. So, Sherry, is that you that's showing up as Honeybee? If so, she says she's so excited. Hi, Miss Ramona. Come on in, girl. You know, you be the first one everywhere. Morning Manna, Honeybee. You right there to support everybody. And we love you for it. All right, Sherry. So I am excuse me, Coach Dagne, and I am happy to be with you tonight. As I said, our queen bee is on the East Coast visiting her grandbabies. And so she asked me to fill in tonight. She is live on there. Whenever you see Honeybee drop off on the screen at the bottom, that is her. And so we're super excited to be with you guys tonight. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Share your comments, share your comments. Let us know what you think, where you are, how's it going. Who went to church today? How was church today for you? What was the revelation that you took away on today from your church? Bishop preached a mighty word at New Life. So let me know where you're coming in from. Hey, Tia, how are you? Hey, Claudia, happy anniversary, girl. Happy I Do Day. I think it was 45 years. Congratulations. Elder Sherry says she's there with the kiddos. And so we're excited about tonight. We're doing some self discovery tonight. Yes, we're doing some self discovery tonight. It's always good when you can take a look at yourself. You can look within and check some things out. And one of the things about discovering your core values is that when you discover them, what you see is why you make the moves that you make. You know, why some things rise to the top as being more important than another thing. And so we're going to do that on tonight. And I need you to get you a little notepad and a pen so that you can do that, or get your phone and you can just take some notes on your phone. You're going to need to jot down a few words and circle some words and underline some words and put some words in the chat when asked to do so. And so we're going to discover our core values. Why do you think that's important when it comes to what Gathering of the Queens has been talking about leading up to now? The last message on last week was about spring cleaning and just getting into those areas where there are some cobwebs and you need to get in there. All right, got your notepad ready, and you need to get in there and just allow yourself to um, deal with what's in there, right? So, this is what core values and understanding your core values will do. And so, I'm excited. So, let's get into it, shall we? Anybody else have anything they want to share before we get started? Because once we get going, we're going to jump right in. Anybody? Thanks everybody that's on. If you're watching the replay, do the same thing. Get your notepad ready so that you can take your notes. Okay. So I'm going to put a screen up. It's going to have lots and lots of words on it, and so it's going to have words These words are going to help you identify what you need to clean out and what you need to keep. So, this is a great tool for discovering your core values. Okay. When you see what your core values are, you also going to see what your pet peeves are. Because what's going to happen is some of those words that you're picking, they are the complete opposite of those things that just get on your nerves. Right. And so, we want to jump right in. So I'm going to share my screen so that you can see this a little bit better. I'm going smaller so that you can see these words. And I'm actually going to read them all out only because with it being this way and I'm not in the room with you, I don't want anybody to miss anything. You may be looking at these words on a phone and they might be super tiny. And so I'm going to read the words out. And what you're going to do is you're going to choose 8 words that are your values and mean the most to you personally. Words that mean the most to you personally. Now, these are about 35 great words. All these words are good words. All these words are things that we we would be remiss not to embrace. However, 8 of them mean the most to you. And so that's what you're going to pick. You're going to pick the ones that mean the most to you. So I'm just going to start saying them. And then, hi, Miss Brenda. I'm just going to start saying them. And I want you to jot down your top 8: accountability, achievement, adaptability, ambition, balance, being liked, being the best, being heard, caring, caution, clarity, coaching, commitment, community life, compassion, competence, control, courage, creativity, dialogue, efficiency, positivity, ethics, excellence, fairness, family, financial stability, forgiveness, friendship, generosity, health, humility, humor, independence, initiative, integrity, independence. I had that in there twice. I don't know why. Job security, justice, knowledge, leadership, legacy, listening skills, love, openness, patience, perseverance, personal growth, professional growth, power, resilience, taking responsibility, spiritual growth, trust, and wisdom. What are your top 8 words of those words that mean the most to you personally? Now, there's no judgment in what words you pick and what words you leave behind, because again, they're all great words. And to say that something doesn't land in your top 8 doesn't mean that it's not important to you. It just means that something else on this list is more important to you. So, Elder Sherry gave us family, trust, adaptability, balance, being heard, commitment, fairness, and friendship. Those are her 8 words. So, everybody, I want you to write your 8 words on something. If you want to share what your 8 are in the chat, please do so. But either way, if you don't share your 8 words in the chat, just comment, I'm ready to move forward. And then we're going to go to the next step. Again, picking these 8, some of you probably, when I was reading the words off, you went right to, hey, Andrea, you went right to a word that immediately just resonated and jumped in your spirit. You didn't even have to think about it. That was one of the 8, regardless. And so that's great. And so I want you to keep that in mind. So if you're ready to move on and you have your 8, I want you to comment, got my 8, or either put the 8 in the chat. Got my 8, or put 8 in the chat. If you're watching the replay, then you can just move along with us. Okay. But I do need to hear from you. If you got your 8, say, got my 8. Okay, Tia, thank you. Okay, Sherry, thank you. Okay, Miss Ramona, thank you. Got your 8. Those are your 8. Show enough. These are my most core values, the words on this screen that mean the most to me. Who else got their 8? All right, Kim. Hi, Kim. Hi, Tiffany. Great. So you got your 8. Everybody ready? You got your 8. These were the 8, the most important to you, the most important words on this screen. You really dug deep to get to that. Now I want you to eliminate 3 of those words. Eliminate 3 of the words that you picked and make it 5. And then I do want you to put those 5 in the chat. Put those 5 in the chat. Okay. I know it's hard. If it took you a while to get to your 8, then you're probably saying, "Oh, I can't take away 3." Yes, you can, because of those 8, 5 of them mean more to you than the other ones. 5 of them mean the most to you. So I want you to eliminate 8. If you look at all 8 words, there's probably some redundancy in the words that some word may, like integrity and trust, may kind of mean coming the same things, and so you might pick between the 2 of those. I don't know. You make your own judgment call as to how you come away, but I want you to eliminate 3 so that you get to only 5 words. Your 5 words, and I want you to put those 5 in the chat. Now, somebody who's already done that and you got your 5, I want you to also chat and tell me, how hard was it to remove 3 of those words? How hard was it to remove 3 of those words? Because what happens is, self-discovery is not always easy. First of all, as women, we seldom even think of ourselves, right? We seldom even really dig deep to know what we want and what we need and what we value, and how we feel. We have feelings, obviously, but when asked, "Oh, how you feeling?" We'll say, "Oh, I feel this way, or I feel that way," the surface feeling. But when someone's really digging in and trying to get to that deeper question, it's not always easy. It's not always easy. And so Elder Sherry got down to her 5. And so looking back up, Elder Sherry, how hard was it to eliminate the words that you eliminated? And why were you able to make that switch? If you want to put that in the chat, please do so. Great. Tiffany's got her words: accountability, courage, integrity, love, and resilience. Integrity, family, friendship, commitment, and trust. That's Sherry's. Accountability, caring, compassion, family, trust. Sound like some common threads on this honeybee line tonight. These are Tia's: achievement, balance, competence, spiritual growth, and financial stability. Love it, and love it. How hard was it to eliminate some of those words, guys? Sherry said not hard because these were clear for her. Good. That means that she is self-aware. That it was easy for you to say, okay, of these, I'll take this off, I'll take that off. That means you're very self-aware, which is a good thing. Who else? Tiffany said it was hard to figure out what you feel. Right. And do you know why that is? Because seldom as women do we dig deeper to say, why am I feeling this way? Like, let me get past the surface things and get to the real thing. When you spring cleaning is a deep clean, right? When you just straighten it up, you getting that surface stuff up. So if I kind of glance across the room, it's fine. But when I dig into them baseboards, it's not fine, right? So spring cleaning means I'm digging deeper. And so then it makes it easier it makes it harder to dig deeper when you seldom think of yourself and what you need. Claudia said it was hard for her. But she got to her 5, which are family, caring, being heard, health, and forgiveness. I love that. Tiffany says, my words are from being in survival mode too. Girl, come on and preach, Tiffany. Come on and preach, because that's what we do, right? As women, we are so let's go as it relates to someone else. But with our own things, we just stay in, let me just get this done so I can get to the next thing that I need to get done. I'm not even staying in here long enough to sit in this. I'm not staying here long enough to even see what's going on that baseboard, to see, do I need to get down there with some is Fabuloso going to get it, or do I need some Fabuloso and some bleach and might have to have a headache after I get through cleaning, right? Let's dig deeper. Spring cleaning is time where deeper cleaning is required. Absolutely. You're going beyond the surface. You getting all the stuff out the back of the closet. You're going a little further than just straightening up. We're going a little deeper. That's what self-reflection is all about. When you're going deeper, you got to get to the core of who you are, because knowing that helps you know why you do the things you do. It also helps you know why you might have conflict with somebody else. It may not have anything to do with them personally. It may not have anything to do with them personally. It may just be simple. My core values are different from yours. Of all of those words that were up on the screen, people have different reasons for doing what they do, right? And so when they were up there, all of these words, if to your boss, let's say to your boss, um, uh, uh, financial stability is important to them, and accountability is important to them. They may not have as much job security might be important to them, so they are so worked up about their own job security that they don't care nothing about whether you are happy at this job or not. Like, happiness is not required. You getting this check, you need to do this job. You see what I'm saying? And so that just means they have a different set of core values, where yours might be family. So I do need to leave on time. I can't stay up in here past this time because family is part of my core values. You see how those conflict in core values don't mean one is right or wrong. It just means that we are different. What means more to me doesn't mean as much to you. Core values different. Core values different. Okay, so y'all got your five. You got your five. Show enough. Hi, Miss Alma. Core values. Okay, you really clear on those five. So let's do one more. This is the final dig. We're taking two more away. We're getting to our top three. I'm not going to take any more away. You're only going to have these three. Once you figure out these three, that's going to be it. So I just wanted to say that so that you're not like, oh my God, are we going to get down to one? No, we're only getting to three. I want you to eliminate two of the five words, and then I want you to put your top three in the chat. Put your top three in the chat. Okay. Now, this one's going to be harder to take away two more, because you're going to try to hold on to some of those words that you're saying to yourself. I can't not say this is not my core value. I can't say my family is not my core value. You're not saying it's not important. You're saying that there are other words that mean more to you at this season in your life, and that is okay, right? That is okay. Maybe you're valuing spiritual growth over something else, right? Because in this season, you know that you need to be connected to the Lord in a real way. And so spiritual growth may be in that top three right now. You see what I'm saying? So what are your top three, top three, top three? Okay. Let me hear from you. Let me hear from you. How was this for you? Do you have your three, and how hard was it? Because when we get to spring cleaning, we need to understand what needs to be thrown away. If we are not clear on who we are, on the deepest part of our insides, we won't even know what to toss out. And that's why eliminating words and getting clear on, why do I feel this way? What's really going on? Asking the deeper question, digging a little deeper, you can get to that. So Kim says spiritual growth, her health, and achievement. Now, Kim, how hard was it to eliminate what other two words that you eliminated? Speak to us about that. Did you have to wrestle with that? Did you feel Did you feel bad? You see what I'm saying? Because, as women, we want to take on these things that don't necessarily belong to us. That's why spring cleaning is necessary. Miss Ramona, family, trust, and accountability. Family, trust, and accountability. Love it, and love it. Andrea, love, family, and health. Love, family, and health. I love it. And so I want somebody to speak to me about how hard was it, and do they see how, when you get to these three words, how that has served you in your life, by these being your North Star, if you will, the core of you, the reason why I do what I do: accountability, love, and integrity. I love it, Tiffany. Kim said, I had to wrestle with removing family. But guess what you put on there, Kim? Spiritual growth, right? And it's because you are a woman of God that there's no way that your family is not important to you, right? And so you put spiritual growth on there because it is because you are a woman of God that makes you the best mother, the best wife, the best thing there for your family, right? So it's still there. You get it? You get it? Spiritual growth, balance, and financial stability. Tia, good job. Yes, I love it. I love it and love it. Claudia, family, being heard, and caring. And so, Claudia, you're retired now. And to get to the point where being heard is one of your core values, I don't even know, but I want to believe that in your working life, in your time, that was something that maybe you had to fight for all the time, being heard. And so now you're clear on that. That's important to me, and I need to make sure that the people that are around me know my voice, and that my voice carries weight and matters. And so I love that. I love that. Anybody else want to share? Miss Ramona says, it was hard removing caring because I care more about others than I do about myself. And guess what, Miss Ramona? But you kept family, trust, and accountability. What that word accountability, because you are a caring person, you are accountable to that part of you. You have a Dorca spirit. That is in the word, in the Bible. Dorca, she served the people with her heart and with her the things that she did, her actions. That's accountability in action in your life, because you care, right? And so you are accountable to that part of yourself that wants to serve others. So you see how you didn't keep it in the three, but it's still serving you in the three. You get it? Love it and love it and love it. Who else? So when we look at why we picked what we picked, right? When we look at that, let's ask ourselves a few more questions. So we got to our top three. We know how these translate into how you conduct yourself regularly. I just gave some examples. If someone else can think of something, please put them in the chat. Those of you who had trust in your core values. If you had trust in your core values, guess what? You can't stand a liar. Somebody lie to you, it's going to be a while before you get over being lied to, if you ever do, right? The opposite of your core value is the thing that works your last nerve. And so if trust is a part of if accountability, then guess what drives you crazy? When people don't do what they're supposed to do, when institutions don't do what it's supposed to do, when the government don't do what it's supposed to do, when somebody, an official, an authoritative person over you in any capacity don't do what they're supposed to do, that drives you insane. You don't like it, because and accountability is one of my top three. I cannot stand when anything. Jesus walked past the fig tree and cursed it. Why? Because wasn't a fig to be found to nourish anybody. So it's just up there, leaves blowing, looking like a fig tree, acting like a fig tree, and not producing fruit anywhere. And Jesus himself cursed it because it was not accountable to the thing that it was put in the earth to do, right? So that's one of my core values, accountability. As you can see, I'm super passionate about it. Yes, so you those are your pet peeves. The opposite of your, so the people who said um financial stability ain't no, and when somebody playing with your money, that you coming unglued. You coming all the way unglued because don't play with my money. Don't put me in a position where, and you are great. If financial stability is one of your core values, you might even uh stay in a job that you hate because you are not going to be in any type of financial instability, right? And so that's important to know. Why do I think do the thing? Why am I staying here? Why is this important to me? Why do they get on my nerves, but I'm not leaving my good job? You see what I'm saying? Financial stability. When that's in your top three, there's a reason why it correlates to the opposite of your pet peeves and things of that nature. Okay. Kim said, when I focus on achievement in this season as an entrepreneur, that means I'm operating with excellence in my purpose and producing fruit. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Someone who said health. Kim said health. Andrea said health. When health is one of your core values, guess what that means? That means that I don't have to be convinced that I need to walk. I don't need to be convinced that I need to drink water. I don't need to be convinced that I need to take care of my temple because health is one of my core values. And I'm going to get up doing those things because they matter. You see what I'm saying? You see how these core values relate themselves back to who you are. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Andrea. Okay. Um, so let's see what else. And we're almost done. What have you learned about yourself as a result of getting to these results? What do you now know? What popped off with you when you got to these three that you didn't really understand about yourself? And you like, oh, okay, that's why I do that. And how does knowing this empower you? So, everybody, this is your question. What have you learned about yourself as a result of getting to these top three core values? And how does knowing this about yourself empower you? For me, when I first discovered my core values, and accountability came up, I was doing some social justice work. And so when I was going to the trainings for Gamaliel, to look at, getting trained in being a social justice advocate in the community, the one thing they always try to get you to discover is your North Star or your reason for doing this work, because that's the thing that will fuel you, to always do. And seeing accountability keep popping up as my core value, it led me to know this is why I do most of the stuff that I do. Because anybody who knows me knows that if you say to me, this is what I want to do, this is who I am. That's why I got into coaching. If you say to me, I believe that I'm called to blank, if you say to me those things, there's no way that I can know that that's what is in your heart to do, and I'm not going to try to help you be accountable to those things. Accountability is a core value of mine. So it helped me discover why I do, how I show up in my friendships, in my at work, in the teams that I'm on, and things of that nature. That's who I am, and I'm fine with being accountable to other people for what I'm supposed to do as well. What do you guys think? Andrea says, If I'm not healthy, I'm no good to anyone else and I can't help you. Absolutely. So that's why that's one of your core values. Sherry says core values help you decide what to say yes and what to say no to. My God, today, if you know that that's not, so if you only have 116 waking hours in a week to deal with, right? And you know you're already busy, you know you're already extended, right? You know that you using up those hours, you are doing the things that God has asked you to do. Then when somebody else comes with something else to add to your plate and you know you cannot do it, that's an easy no. Why? Because you understand who you are. You understand how those 116 waking hours need to be utilized for you and your purpose in the earth. And so that's what you do. And you know that because you discovered yourself. You discovered your core values. This is not something that's going to help my family. This is not something that I need to be accountable to. This is an easy no, right? This is an easy no. Anything else? What do you guys think? Anybody else want to share anything in the chat? Thank you, Claudia. Core values help to shape your habits. Habits, absolutely. And they shape the people who you like being around. When you are around people whose core values kind of align, you know when you're around people that you're out of alignment with. And if that's not your friend group, your core group, your somebody that you need to be accountable to, you don't have to be around there. Steve Harvey on his show when he used to have Ask Steve, this girl came on there and she was like, Steve, I hate, it's the holidays are coming up and I hate going over to my auntie's house and my mama's house because they're gonna just keep on talking to me about getting married, having a baby, this and that. And so she was really upset and just really really felt a way about how she was being treated in the family because she wasn't married yet. And so Steve just simply said, so do they come to your house and do this? And she was like, well, no, they don't usually come to my house. It's when I go up to their house. And he just said, well, stay away from over there. Stay away from over there. And so the same thing, if you are not in alignment, right, with individuals or institutions or things or people, places, and things, stay away from over there, right? Because why disturb your peace when it's not even necessary? It's not even something that's in your core, in your values, in alignment with who you are, that you need to even be over there in the first place. You know what I'm saying? In as much as it lies within me, be at peace with all men. When I don't have to be there, I'm not going. And that's why when you call, hey, you coming to so and so, well, who's gonna be over there? Let me see. You know, I mean, so this is our honeybee, Gavin of the Queens tonight. What do you think? I want to hear from you. How was discovering your core values on tonight? Thank you, Queen Bee, Sherry, Mac, for inviting me to be on the platform tonight because she was out of town and she did not want this to go undone for her girls, the other queens. And so I was super excited to do it. Claudia says, I'm at a place where I just want peace. I know, right? I mean, it's time out for foolishness. It's time out for foolishness. And speaking of foolishness, April 1st, every month, and either on the last day of the month or the first day of the month, catch me on April 1st. I'm going to be live. Thank you for serving the gathering. You're welcome. I'm going to be live for Mission Mindset, where we're going to take a look at the past month and then look at the month coming up and plan for it and all the things. And it's April Fool's Day, but I don't know no fools. I mean, I'm not in alignment with no fools. And so therefore for me, it's April Fuel's Day. Fuel, Fuel, because we're going to get on there and fuel the month of April with some planning, with some preparation, so that we can do the things that we need to do. So join me on live. I don't know what time I'm gonna do. Either it's gonna be 7 o'clock in the morning, early Tuesday, or it's gonna be 7 p.m. Tuesday night. It just depends on how the Lord wake a sister up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not even getting ready to get into those setting myself up for something that I can't deliver on, right? Because I want to be accountable to my words. And so I hope you can join me. Thank you, Queen B, Sherry, for opening up your platform to me tonight. What time? Either 7 a.m. or 7 p.m., Claudia. I'm going to post something tomorrow to let you know. Yes, join me on April Fuels Day. And I'll post it on Honeybee as well. And so I'm super happy. Thank you, Miss Alma. Thank you all for jumping on. Yes, I can tag you guys in. So when I'm on, those of you who have said, I will tag so that you can see that I'm live and everything. Okay. I'm so glad to have been with you tonight. I'm so glad we had this time together just to have a laugh or sing a song. Seems you just got started, and before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long. Gathering of the Queens, another week out. Love you guys. Bye.